of that one. Thank you.
Yeah, it only gets the full-time. You have to work that many hours.
Okay, I'll bring the meeting to order. This is the Pay and Benefits Ad Hoc Committee. Today's Monday, May the 13th, 2024. I know we have our minutes from the last two meetings, so I'll give you all just a minute to look over those. We're taking and recording the roll. And are there any public comments? Thank you.
You want to approve the minutes?
Yes, do I have a motion to?
I'll make a motion to approve the
minutes?
minutes.
I'll second it.
Okay, thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
As there are no public comments, we'll move on. I expect this to be somewhat of a brief meeting. I just thought our subcommittees could give some updates. I know that we're working on longevity pay, and if we could have an update from the firm that we've reached out to. So who would like to go first?
Well, y'all ready? Are y'all ready to do y'all's?
Go ahead.
Not yet? Or you are?
We're ready.
Okay. We'll let them go.
He's with them.
I think
You're with
that-
them,
I
so-
think they're just ready to move. As far as the pay schedule, Heather's not received anything back from any of the counties we requested. I haven't received anything from CTAS as of yet. I did speak to Heather this morning. She said she'd have that as quick as possible. And that's just some more counties that have done salary studies recently. So we're just basically waiting to see, compare what else is out there. Unless anybody else, Heather or Tim, has anything they want to add.
Is there anything else that we can do?
I did pass out the information from Thompson and Associates, if you want to review that. I did talk to Mr. Thompson. He is still willing to talk to us. If you remember, we discussed earlier, he was involved in the last pay study, the salary
2014?
study, 2014. There were some issues with it. He's willing to talk to us. You know, I could see if he wanted to call into this meeting rather than have him drive from Nashville, if you want to do that. See if he's maybe available for the next meeting. Just know that, you know, there could be some marketing involved, but he is a professional who has done this, and I believe Bedford County is one of the counties that he did. And I've attached the, public sector salary survey. Now, this is obviously a bigger county, so just to give you an idea of what he can do. Anyway, if you want to review that, I can try to see if he can make it for our next meeting. That would be May 20th.
That would be next Monday,
Monday.
correct?
Yeah.
And that's the 4 o'clock meeting, so coming from Nashville might be a little difficult on him.
Might be tough on him to get
Is-
here at 4 o'clock, yeah.
I mean, I could see if he could zoom in.
Okay. It's like, we use those at work. I don't know if there's a way to, we
Just
call
a
it the
conference
backbone,
call.
the conference call, we call it the backbone at work. I think that would be more appropriate for him, and we could get away ahead. What do you all think? Versus him, driving down. And thank you for reaching out and making that contact.
All right,
Thank
so
you.
May 20th, and if he cannot do that, we'll do the June 3rd, either, okay,
I think that's great.
thanks.
Thank you.
Do we have a specific phone number for that? I'll get it.
Cindy will have it.
Cindy, okay.
Okay. B group, I know we spoke offline about some of the findings and, would y'all like to update everybody?
On the,
Longevity pay, kind of what we
do y'all have all
talked
the
about to present.
sheets on this?
You have them.
I've got them, they don't? Okay.
Sorry, I'm not trying to put anybody on the spot.
Well, we, oh, I need to pass them out. Thank you.
Holly,
Holly.
Is this all city? This all just the
The
city?
top one's the city of
And the
Tullahoma.
next one's Franklin County.
Next one's Franklin County.
Did everybody get one? You- Okay. What you have is, the way that the city of Tullahoma does their longevity and the way that Franklin County, does their longevity. And on the very last one is, what our subcommittee plus Andy,
I just wrote it.
yeah, come up with on the Coffee County side. So if you want to look at these real quick, basically this is modeled off of
Franklin County's?
Franklin counties, okay? You know, it's county close, and it's got similar population, and theirs read pretty much how we want to do ours.
And the back page is from Mariana, and it has updated numbers based on what your subcommittee came up with.
Yeah, as of April 1st. Now, you know, if you want to read that, or you want somebody to read it out loud, we can do that. On the one we worked up.
I like your summary. I like your summary.
You like that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I say, it's basically same as Franklin County, I'd say, with a few little add-ons. I will say there was a question brought up about where it says department heads and elected officials. You know, elected officials could mean commissioners, mayor and all that stuff. But in answer yours, you brought that up, and to answer that question there, we'd probably be considered part-time, I'd say.
The commissioners,
The commissioners will probably be considered part-time.
I don't know that you would include the commissioners.
Oh, I know,
employees.
but we were, you know, that question was brought up, and, to answer that is commissioners are part-time. They're not full-time employees. This will be basically for a full-time employee, not counting part-time employees. Now, is everybody good with the way that reads with department heads and elected officials?
The only thing we really need to check on is legally, can elected officials be included?
Right.
And that would be, I don't know the answer to that right now. But there is at the bottom, a minimum of 1,950 hours of eligibility for this longevity pay, which equals out to the 37 and a half hours that people work. So 37 and a half hour employees and 40-hour employees would be included.
So to be eligible, you have to have been an employee for 5 years.
Minimum of 5.
Minimum of 5.
And you have to, this begins, wasn't there a time of eligibility as of the July 1st of every year?
Right.
And the payout around November of every
Right.
year? Okay.
So what this says, I guess I'm reading it right, I don't know. Department heads and elected officials going to get this longevity pay too?
Right.
Okay. I don't like that. They make enough as it is. The bottom people need to be paid first.
Well, the bottom people will get paid. I mean, if you look on there, everybody that's been here over 5 years is gonna start getting paid. And if you'll think your elected officials, it's only 4-year terms, so they could be a one-termer, or they could be
A lifer.
a lifer. We don't have many of those, but possibility you could.
If I may, right quick, when I read that, I questioned the terminology elected official. That would be the mayor, the sheriff, the road superintendent, you know, by the literal meaning of that word. And I personally think that needs to be clarified. There's appointed officials maybe, if you're appointed by the mayor or whatever, that's a salaried position, or the judges in there. I feel like that needs to be addressed, but I don't think, my question was, elected means that they're on a ballot and the taxpayers are voting. I don't think we should be included. That's where I was going with it.
I feel the same way.
Yeah,
I don't like it.
that's what I said. I mean, otherwise, I think I like the way it looked. I like the way it's read.
Well, I worded it as all employees, and somebody thought that it needed to be specific. So I wanted to make sure everything was included in the draft, and the committee can decide who's eligible. So that's how it came about that the elected officials got in there. So the draft can be changed anyway.
And we can change the draft. I mean, if you wanna just put all full-time employees,
But if you say all full-time employees, that includes elected
Elected
officials.
well, that's true.
That's the way I had it in the first draft.
Right.
And then it got questioned, so I made it more specific so that we got 3 areas. We have hourly full-time employees, department heads, and elected officials. Now, if you just wanna keep it to full-time county employees and take out department heads and elected officials, that's up to y'all. If you wanna leave in department heads because, or
They're appointed, they're not, well,
if you wanna specify appointed department heads and take out elected officials, I mean, however y'all wanna word it is fine.
Well, I mean, we're all here tonight. Everybody should say something, how they feel about it.
Yeah.
I'm against it because some of the elected officials and department heads make way too much money anyway. I don't think they should be scraping everything up.
I mean, with that said, do you wanna make it have a maximum salary that it goes up to?
Well, hopefully, we're gonna get the salaries up for the department heads, so, I mean, if I was making 65,000 or 70,000, I wouldn't want no part of a longevity. I'd want the people under me and everybody else to get it.
That's what I'm asking, I mean.
Yeah, well, that's what I want. I mean, I don't know what everybody else wants. Or I would like
I'm
to say.
fine with whatever. I'm gonna abstain from this anyway.
I think if we're looking at verbiage, just as I'm reading it, full-time county employees are entitled
Right,
potentially
right.
to longevity pay.
Right.
Department heads are entitled to it,
Right.
as well as elected officials. Shall we just add appointed officials as well?
No, I
Just
think,
add that
I-
verbiage, if we're wanting to be fully, if we want to fully encompass everyone.
Well, I think the question Tim was having is elected officials.
yeah,
Is
he
that
wants to
correct?
take out elected officials, but,
That's what I've got, I've got an issue. If the voters of Coffee County check off beside a name, that's an elected official in my mind. I do not think they should be included.
So,
I don't. None of
No, I
them.
understand that.
if you want to change that, you could just
Department heads.
put department heads and appointed officials.
That would work.
That would work.
For example, Rennie Bell, who is the director, the superintendent is the term for a rural solid waste. He's a department head, but he's not elected. So I feel like he should qualify for longevity pay.
So that covers,
agree with that.
that'll cover everything but the elected official.
so just strike
anybody have
out an elected official.
Anybody have any questions on
Would you
that?
like that?
Any, that all right with you, Tina? You good with that?
I have questions. I don't have questions.
Okay. So, all we're doing is just deleting elected and just putting appointed. Okay. Does anybody, have you read all the way through it? Does anybody have any questions with, the rest of that?
If you wanted to look.
All right, so if we pass this goes to budget finance. If we pass it in this meeting.
I'd say if we pass it, we can take it to budget finance and get it, I mean, it probably won't, it'd have to be retroactive, because it may be 2 or 3 months before it gets around to the commission voting. It may be, won't happen Tuesday, may not happen next month, because it's gotta go to budget and finance, policy procedures, is that correct? And, legislative, am I correct on that?
Possibly, yeah. It
Since
would
we've
take a
already got it.
resolution,
Yeah,
so.
since we already got it written up as we want it written up, you might could skip policy and procedures and go straight to legislative. Might be able
I
to do
would
that.
think it would need to go there before budget and finance.
Policies, procedures?
Yeah.
Because it would need to go in the personnel manual.
Well, that's true. I didn't think about that, yeah, because it's gonna be, that's right. You're exactly right. And this will not be, make sure I say this right, this won't be recurring. The commission will have to approve it every year. Is that correct?
The language in there says,
Well,
if
it's,
we can afford it.
right, right. So, you know, is everybody good with that?
Or just something else. Just totally do away with the longevity and get everybody up where they should be paid. If we're gonna be short on money by giving this away, just get everybody bumped up where they should be.
Well, my thing is with that, just like with the sheriff's department, they just transfer to Tullahoma or wherever else they're paid. We're trying to keep them here. This is an incentive.
This is an incentive. This is called longevity pay. This is not the, whatever pay raises or whatever system we want to recommend. This is just, like she said, an incentive to keep an employee here longer, to retain your employees.
So it's a bonus every year.
No, it's a bonus 1 year and it's gotta be approved every year.
It's gotta be
after that.
approved
Oh.
every year. Which, I don't know how long Franklin County's been doing it, but
So they may pay it for 1 year and then just quit.
How
Quit
long?
doing it.
well, there's a
long?
possibility, but Tullahoma's been doing it for 25, and I may be misquoting on that, but they've been doing it for 25 years.
And if you look at this, you know, we've been given 1,500. If you look at this, we're getting 6,000 or
3,000.
3,000.
The cap is 3,000, so once you hit that cap, that's what you're gonna get every year. And if you look at the way it's broke down, you know, not many are on that high end. They're mostly gonna be on the first two tiers of it. And you're not even, the ones that, well, yeah, first two tiers of it. So. And you're always gonna have the bottom, you know, the multi-year employee, you know, the 30-year, the 40-year employee, you know, they could be here this year and they could be retired the next year. And now you're starting back over with another employee, so it's gonna, I had these figures run 3 years ago, and I bet they wouldn't, $5,000 difference in those figures. They wouldn't much difference in them. So,
If you have one 30-year employee retire at $3,000, you can incorporate what?
several
five-
more. Yeah.
6 or 7
6 or 7
5-year
more.
employees.
That's
so.
right. And yes, it rewards, you know, that longtime employee, so. That's what it's designed for.
Well, I mean, at 5 years, you get $250. I mean, that's nothing nowadays. I'm not saying, but that wouldn't retain me $250 if I found a better job.
No, and, you know, 5 years, if you're gonna be here 5 years, chances are you're gonna be here longer. So that goes up $50 every year, so,
Maybe.
well,
So we got a
I
high
look for it,
turnover
if it
rate.
gets passed in commission, I look for them to fund this every year.
Because we got a really high turnover rate. I mean, Heather probably knows more than anybody. How many people will be, I don't know how, the rate of people that come and go is really high. I don't know if me and you talked about it one time before. It's,
Yeah, I
Up
don't know
over
the-
100.
I don't know the exact numbers, but
yeah,
Okay.
I mean, it's
Well,
good.
we can still discuss it. I'm gonna make a motion that we approve this longevity pay policy as amended, as we amended it. Approve it,
Where are you sending it?
approve it to, be recommended to, policy and procedures, and from there we'll go probably back to budget and finance and to legislative, I guess.
I'll second.
Thank you both. All in favor?
Uh,
Aye.
I'm
Abstain.
staying.
I'm
Yeah.
abstaining also.
Do we have any new business that anyone would like to discuss, or more ideas for a way ahead? How to most
I
effectively-
did bring, the medical insurance information that you all discussed. The first sheet is the cost per pay period for employee, and the actual second and third page are the comparison charts for each plan.
county's portion, does that include the new, what was it, $100 a month they're paying?
Yeah,
So 325 is the updated amount.
yes.
Okay.
And these are per pay period. These are bi-weekly amounts that come, this comes out of their paycheck twice a month. Under the employee share.
But the premium in the county portion is monthly?
This county portion, it's split bi-weekly also. I think that's how Mariana has it. Yes, it is.
Does anyone have any questions about the health insurance?
Yes, I was trying to find the wellness and see how much it actually costs is.
The enrollment,
No, the wellness, like if you just go get a yearly checkup.
Preventive care, it's on the first page at the very top.
There it is, I see it. So we did discuss as a wellness thing in our group. So if we give them money, they would get taxed for it. So with their insurance, they get it free if they just go get their blood pressure and everything done that they need to do yearly. So we decided, or discussed, should I say, like a gift card. So they don't get taxed for it. They get their checkups and they can get a Walmart card, an Amazon card, something to improve their health instead of a membership.
That was one of our sections of our group, I'm in that group as well, that we were to look at benefits outside of pay, and that was an incentive that was something we were tasked with, and that is an incentive to, like a gift card, maybe they have 3 options to choose from, Amazon, Walmart, whatever, Home Depot, but you go get the wellness check every year. And it possibly could be a savings to the county too as well, because maybe we catch something early that someone didn't know what was going on. I know that might be incentive to go to the doctor.
Well, also, if they have the American Fidelity, I think it's the cancer and the critical illness policies, there's wellness benefits on that also for your yearlies, that you can get, receive a refund back. I think it's $80. So, we already have that incentive, if they have those policies though, those voluntary policies.
I do like that idea about the gift card or something. I think that's great. I know whenever we're rewarded at work, you can have a cash incentive or time off awards or things like that. And everyone hopes to get the time off award because you're not taxed on your award, your bonus.
We would have to get a tax attorney to weigh in on that. I'm not sure it would have to be reported as income. I don't know how you could get around it, but possibly you could. Definitely would be a good idea, but, they may have to report it as income.
might figure out the legalities of all that.
All right, does anyone have Anything else?
This is the existing, right?
Yes.
Okay, our next meeting will be next Monday, May the 20th at 4 o'clock.
I was here at 4 o'clock today.
You didn't read the email, it was 4:30 today, but 4 o'clock next week.
And I know, I forgot.
I'm just
I'll be
thinking.
gone next week.
Look, it's raining, it's real.
All right, well, if there's nothing else, Sheila, if you'll let us know if he's able to call in, and we'll work on the phone number. But if not, we hope to hear from him at one of our other meetings. But if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion adjourned.
Second.
Awesome. All in favor?
Uh,